So guys, I just realized that it is officially 3 years since I started YouTube. Just want you guys to know that I love you guys so much and you guys encourage me a lot. So thank you to my subscribers. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a little bit of storytelling of how I left my parents' house with absolutely no plans. I'm also going to be telling you guys a little bit of the things that I've gotten myself into, all in the name of trying to make it and not move back to my parents' house. So guys, my story goes like this. I grew up in Lagos and I schooled in Ibadan, but for some reason my parents decided to move back to Imo State, which is where I'm from. I've spent all my life in Lagos and moving back to Imo State just wasn't it for me. Like, I don't even know where to start from. I'm not familiar with the environment, even if that is where I'm from. But it wasn't just, it just didn't seem like it was the right thing for me to do after school. So I kind of told my parents that I was moving out. Actually, watching movies, it doesn't really go the way they do it in movies. Like, okay, so you move out of your parents' house and then you find a job and then that is how you blow from there. No, no, that is not how it works. I found out. Okay, so obviously my parents were not cool with it. My mom, but my dad was definitely not cool with it, and he did not hide his feelings at all. Like, he didn't want me to leave the house. But considering that all I did at home was like sleep, eat, wake up, watch TV, I wasn't ready to listen to my dad. I was not even ready to listen to my dad. All that was in my head was that, okay, I needed to move out of my parents' house. I need to find my own. Like, okay, so you're done with school. Your parents have done all they can for you. It's time to do something for yourself. Even though I didn't really know what it was I wanted to do for myself, but I felt like, okay, so moving out of the house is going to be like one step for me. Like, so when I got to Ikeja to go and live with my friend and her mom, at that time, Amanda just also recently finished from university. She was a Unilag student. And then we were thinking together, okay, so what are we interested in? I told Amanda that, okay, I do know how to cook. Like, I was doing it while I was in school. And so we can start up a food business. So Amanda was like, but we do not have capital to rent a shop. And then I was like, yeah, that's why the internet is there. We can have like a virtual shop where we like. So long story short, we decided to like print flyers and then made a list of the things that we can cook. And then we like go to like people's shops and give them flyers, hand them flyers. Okay, so this is what we have for today. What would you like to order? And people will make orders and then we'll deliver to them. So we're doing that for a while, using it to sustain ourselves for the meantime. But the thing is, when you do not have a plan, everything seems like a plan. So I was also thinking like, okay, obviously cooking and delivering to people was not what I wanted to do, because though we were selling, we were making sales, but we found out that, okay, so as we were selling, we were eating it. As we were selling, we were eating it. We only had a little bit in savings for us, and that savings is not even like a tangible money. So I was thinking like, I need to come up with a plan. Like, change your plans, you know? And then it hit me like, okay, I've always had interest in the force. So I decided that, okay, so why not like try going into the Navy? Oh no! I was like, okay, so how am I going to go about it? So I googled it online. I saw the guidelines to follow to like process my naval dreams. That seemed like, okay, so this is what I want to do right now. This is all I want to do right now. So I put in my everything in. So one of the requirements for becoming a naval officer was that I have to like write JAMB. And like, again, it doesn't matter if you've done it before. So I was like, how am I going to start from, like, that's like starting from scratch. Imagine like a graduate going to go and write JAMB and sitting with some fresh high school graduates, secondary school graduates. But I was like, yeah, I can do it if I really want it. If I really want it, I can do it. So it was like the dream that I had. So I had to like pursue it with every single thing that I have, all my sweat and blood. I didn't have money or anybody to support me. Obviously, I can't call my dad because he's waiting for me to get tired of the whole shenanigans of me running crazy and come back home. So I couldn't call my dad. I couldn't call anybody. So the only valuable thing that I had then was my digital camera. I decided to like sell it to use it to like register for JAMB, and that was when I realized that when you actually pay for something with your money, you tend to be more serious with it. I wouldn't have been as serious as I was if it was my dad that paid for that money. So I was going, my JAMB center was at Yaba and I lived at Ikeja. So I still had issues of transportation. So what I was doing was that I would sell food, and then when I go to lesson, my friend will be in charge, and when I come back from lesson, we continue. So that was where I was getting my transportation to transport myself for my JAMB lesson. Fast forward, after I took the JAMB and then my score came out, luckily for me, I made it, and then it was time for me to go and write my entrance exam to the NDA, like for me to be trained officially. So I didn't really have anybody to guide me through, so I was just doing what I thought was right. So I wrote the exam and finally I got in. I was like, whoa, yeah, this is finally it. I was thinking that, okay, so this is finally it. Misplaced priorities was what was wrong with me, because I had absolutely no goals. Every single thing felt like a goal. So basically what I was doing was I was trying every single thing I thought was it. Anyone that entered, okay. All that was in my head was that, okay, I needed to be independent, I needed to make money so I can take care of my needs and my parents and all of that. After I got invited to Kaduna, when I got there, I met other people and the experience was mad. Like, coming from, looking at my background and where I came from, I cannot cope in terms of their way of feeding. That wasn't the life that I wanted. I know that, yes, so I'm the one that decided to suffer by myself, but then I can't even fathom it. Like, I couldn't just cope. So in my mind I was like, Jesus, what did I get myself into? What did I get myself into, please? But for the fact that, okay, I actually got myself this far. Apart from that, I kept on telling myself, no pain, no gain, no pain, no gain. I don't want to go back home. Like, you know how that this thing that keeps whispering to my head, you can do it. What a man can do. Something kept on whispering to me that what a woman can do, what a man can do, a woman can do better. So that was the only thing that was motivating me. Besides, I've actually gotten this far. After I made friends with some soldiers, I realized that I have actually been going about it the wrong way. As a university graduate, I have like an edge. The people that actually applied for the NDA, like where I was found in, the people that actually applied with me are the people that haven't gotten a degree. And I already have a degree. Mind you, I have not done my NYSC yet because my dad insisted that if I'm going to do my NYSC, I will have to come back to Imo State to do it so I can go from home. So that wasn't it for me, because I wanted to do a lot of things, but one of it was not being at home in Imo State with my parents. So I was like, I'm gonna like maneuver my way and do stuff for myself, not knowing that everything that I was doing was wrong. Like, it was the wrong move for me. So after the whole trials, to God be the glory, I was disqualified. I left Kaduna. I had absolutely no clue of where I was going to, and going back to my house was not an option, and going back to my friend's house was also not an option because they already have their own crisis and they were planning to like relocate to a new place. So they were like running around helter-skelter. So I was thinking that, where will I go to? So the only place that actually came to mind was Ibadan, because that is my comfort zone. And luckily for me, my best friend was 7 years. So I was like, why not? I'm already depressed. So I gave my best friend a call. I was like, what's up? Oh, I'm stranded. I don't know where to go to. I don't have anywhere to go. And what I was running for the first time in my life, I actually put in my sweat and every single thing in something, and it didn't work out. So I was so depressed at that point. So he was like, yeah, Vera, you can come to Ibadan now. We'll stay together and all of that. So I went to Ibadan. I was with him for some time. Looking in my mind, I was kind of happy that it didn't work out, because looking at it, if it had worked out, I do not have the physical stamina. Look at me now. Look at me. Like, being honest with myself, I don't have the physical stamina to actually withstand the training of being a Navy Health-wise, I can't stand it.
This was me, you guys, after NDA. Yes, I had to cut my hair.
But I was also depressed because I didn't actually know where to start from, because apart from having this dream of becoming a naval officer without even knowing what they go through to actually become a naval officer, the only achievement that I had was that I graduated from school, from the university. Okay, what next? All this running around that I was going through, my parents have no idea, and they also have no idea, which if you're watching this video right now, they are actually going to be very surprised. So that was like in 2019. I was in Ibadan with my bestie. We're like being depressed, crying, consoling each other, doing all sorts of things. The people that were mentoring me at that point would call like, Vera, what's up? What are you up to? And I'll tell them, please don't ask me what I'm up to. I'm not up to anything. I just want to like not be up to anything, because I was so frustrated and depressed. I didn't even know where to start from. So if you ask me what are you up to at that point, you're looking for trouble, because the way I will reply is that you'll be wondering like, what did I do? And I also knew that okay, I needed to like be up to something sooner or later, or else I'm going to like starve. But at the same time, going to look for a job was not ideal for me, because 9 to 5 job, I am very, very sure that it wasn't something that I wanted to do. So how am I going to, like, how do I come out of this? That was what I was thinking to myself. Do I want to practice mass communication? Even if I want to practice what I studied in school, where do I start from? Am I going to like get a job or what? I was thinking to myself that okay, if I go for an interview, what actually gives me an edge over every other person? What skill do I have apart from, do I have any skill? Like, what can I do apart from presenting my certificate of being a mass comm student? I decided to like brush up on my skills. Like, what can I do to like have an edge over someone else? Like, what can I do? Like some of my friends were telling me, Vera, why don't you like consider digital marketing? Have you considered digital marketing? You are outspoken, you're this, you're that. So I decided to like take a free online course on digital marketing, which I did. So I also realized that a lot of people were doing digital marketing. So I decided to like link up with one of my cousins. So there was this girl, a very good friend of his. So one time I just overheard them. They were talking about salary pay, and they were talking about 350,000 naira. I was like, 350,000, a girl like me is earning 350,000 naira. Please, what is she doing? Please, what is she doing? Because me, I want to learn too. She does not have two heads now and all of that. So my cousin like told me what she does for a living, and she was into programming and all of that. And that was when another ambition of mine was born. So did I mention that at this point I'm confused and every single thing looked like a way to me? Like, I didn't have direction. I didn't actually know what I wanted. My goal was that okay, I really wanted to make money. I wasn't caring about, does it make me happy? Is this something that I love to do? My cousin was like, okay, so programming is not so hard. It's something that I can teach you. My cousin was a programming guru. That was how me and my cousin decided to like start living together, and he was teaching me programming and all of that. But I also found out that it wasn't my thing. Like, I couldn't just relate. I wasn't getting it right. It wasn't my thing. As a mass comm student, that is like going to a whole new different career. It wasn't really coming together with what I have envisioned myself to be or to do in life. So I was like, okay, so programming is also not for me. So while I was with my cousin, I decided to like settle, like take a deep breath and ask myself, Vera, what do you really want? What do you love doing? What can you do right now that you're going to like look back in 10 years from now or in like 20 years from now and be glad you're doing? That was when I actually sat myself down and actually thought to myself that, okay, what do you want to do with your life? First of all, at first I didn't have an answer to this question, but I kept on asking myself, what do you want to do with your life? It actually took me a long time before I could find an answer to this question. But one thing that I decided not to do, like, I didn't want to like jump into anything anymore without knowing every single thing about it, like without researching on it properly. So I started looking for mentors. I started looking at other ladies that have done is what they did, and if it matches something that I loved. And one thing was already established, that okay, I love to cook. That was the only thing that was established in my life then. I didn't know if I wanted to make it into a career or something that I just love to do for fun. So I realized that okay, if there is anything that people have had fulfillment in doing and also making money from, it is something that they love to do for fun. I had to also establish the fact that okay, considering what I studied in school, I studied mass communication and media technology, which is something that I love to practice. As I was thinking to myself, this is something that I would love to practice, but I don't want to go about it the traditional way of going to radio station. During my IT, I saw how people did it traditionally. I didn't want to even if I wanted to go into what I studied, it's going to be as a freelancer. So I was thinking what angle do I need to take towards practicing what I studied in school without being a salary earner? And that was when it hit me, YouTube. YouTube. And I was like, okay, YouTube, but then I am camera shy. How am I going to do it? And then I started watching some YouTubers. At first it wasn't Nigerian YouTubers, and then I came across some Nigerian YouTubers, and then I started trying it out. So back then I would sit in my room and practice and pretend that I am actually live on YouTube. But at that point I also didn't have a camera. Like I told you guys then, I sold my camera to register for JAMB for my NDA. There was a video I also watched where people actually started with nothing. And then I had just iPhone 6, but when you are desperate for something, you would actually try as much as possible to make do with what you have at hand. So I was like, yeah, I can start with my iPhone 6, which was what I started with, which was what I actually started with. Back then I actually didn't have money to buy a ring light, so I would actually just use sunlight to practice on my iPhone 6 and all of that. It was so hard. Okay, so how I actually knew that I was on the right track was that in as much as I was camera shy and I didn't actually know what I was doing, I was happy doing it. Yeah, I was nervous, but when I am done with my videos and I watch it, I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do. And that is why I cherish my subscribers. That is why I cherish you guys so much, because you subscribing to my channel is a proof that someone actually likes seeing a shy girl like me talking to them. And that is how I know that I'm not going to stop doing this, because it is actually when I am in front of the camera right now, it is actually when I say, hi guys, welcome back to my channel, that I feel like, okay, I'm actually doing something. So I wouldn't stop doing it. If there is anything that I've discovered that hasn't ended for me since I started it in 1 year, it will be YouTube. If there is anything that I love doing more than cooking right now, which is part of the things that I'm going to also be bringing to you guys, I'll be teaching some recipes and sharing my natural remedies to you guys. It is YouTube that is going to help me do that. So thank you to my subscribers, and thank you to my 10 new subscribers. You guys mean the whole world to me. So if there is anything that I've learned so far, is that number one, the things that you decide to start for yourself is the thing that you are actually going to invest most of your energy in, because nobody actually sent you, and you're going to be self-motivated because you actually thought of it yourself and you're doing it. So guys, have I failed at so many things? Yes. Have I succeeded at some? 2, maybe 1.5 of my plans. Okay. Am I going to keep trying? Of course. I still have so much on my list to do. And basically be experimenting a lot of things that life throws at me, and slowly discover who I'm supposed to be, and discover where I'm supposed to be, and hopefully make a career out of this. So that is my story. I hope it was entertaining enough. I hope I entertained you from the beginning to the end. If you have seen this video to the end, that means I actually entertained you enough. Please give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, and please subscribe to my channel so you can see more of my videos of where I'm sharing something like this with you guys. And see you guys next time. Bye.